Hello, Tom.
Oh, hey, what's up, Travis? Are we back?
Yes,
God,
Tom was drinking a beer that his blur the background filter is refusing to show.
it's
It's
to give anyone a hint, it's in an oil can.
like Zoom knows that we don't want to get sued for showing off brands and stuff. Welcome back.
We're
It's
back.
our
Yeah.
first episode that we recorded in the new year. Um,
January 10th, everybody. That's what we're recording on now.
ooh, have you been, Tom?
Well, I'm ready to get into a really serious episode. We had fun with our season premiere and it went well. Hope everyone enjoys it. Still up there. Please check it out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whenever you listen to podcasts. Cartoon physics are funny. That was a good one. But
Mhm.
ladies and gentlemen, for Give Us the Launch Code season 2, episode 2, we're going to talk about what happened literally this week. Literally.
We couldn't enjoy like our first weekend of 2026 and
No.
just one thing after another.
Yep.
America said, "Hey, do you want to do you want to be like a 19th century autocracy?" Uh,
Do you
because
like
we're
the
really thinking about doing that.
do you like the board game Risk?
Yeah.
That's literally what it was said. There's two things we're going to talk about today, folks. Travis will take the second half, and I'll take the first half because we're dividing it up. But just
Mhm.
to start off with, obviously, what has happened first off was we kidnapped a world leader.
Yes. Kidnapped, I think, is the appropriate term. I don't. Apologists are saying no. We arrested him. It's like I don't think the United States has the
No country
jurisdiction
has.
to arrest a uh foreign leader. Yeah, we straight up arrested or kidnapped whoever whatever your persuasion Vincent Maduro, the dictator of Venezuela. Um, and it's like of course, we were all freaking out, and we still are. Of
Yeah,
like,
because
are
we
we
opened up.
going?
Hmm?
Yeah,
Yeah, we opened up a can of worms. The thing is, no country is allowed to do this. This isn't like, he arrested a governor within the state. That's different. You know what I mean?
hmm
No, this is
and
straight
even
up.
then,
No, of course, even then, yes. But what I'm trying to say is the difference is that no country is allowed to do this because this is a basically this is an act of war when you take someone else's country. Is he a piece of shit dictator? Obviously, that's
yeah,
no questions asked, but we have opened up a can of worms what our administration has done because even China said, "Oh, okay, it's fair game. We got you."
yeah, like no, maybe we'll do this to Taiwan, and Russia's like, wait, why were you giving us so much shit for doing this to Ukraine?
Yeah.
um,
We
it,
yeah, no, yeah. And this isn't because I know what people are going to do is like, well, how do you do Osama bin Laden? I'm like, well, that was different. That dude was not a political leader of any kind. He was a piece of shit, just radical terrorist who was just basically free roaming the world. Really, that's what it was.
and you know what? Vincent Maduro got better treatment than Bin Laden did, which is to say, we took him alive, whereas Bin Laden we killed. And just to be clear, what I feel like I would actually have liked it better if we'd taken Bin Laden in custody.
That's what we should have done.
And also, Bin Laden attacked us.
Yes.
Actually attacked us. Not the some of the stuff. Like I don't believe that a lot of this crap of like sending drugs across the border and whatever.
Then don't do drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs.
I'm gonna act that bullshit that most Republicans say. We'll just say no. Dare.
Yeah. And
A-R-E.
also like they have no standing on that because like we literally just pardoned like the former president of Honduras who
Yeah.
did like the exact same thing. So, it's not even about the drugs. They're not even pretending it's about the drugs. They're
No, it's
they're
about her.
literally like, nah, we're done with that excuse. We're gonna talk about the oil. All
Yeah.
Trump wants to talk about is the fucking oil.
By the way, though, because you said better treatment, if you have paid, if you, and anyone paid attention to what was happening during the first 24 hours of him being in our custody and being transported to that New York prison, he had 4 outfit changes.
Yeah.
And
And he
also,
looked good in every single one.
oh yeah. And then
He-
I don't know if you know this too, though. They took his wife as well, which,
yeah, she's being brought up in charges too.
by the way, she showed up to court apparently with a black eye.
Hmm.
So you get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because saying like this isn't good. Yes, we're treating him fairer than Bin Laden because we didn't touch Bin Laden's wives, but this woman showed up to court with a black eye.
With
Her lawyer looked pretty also roughed up apparently too.
yeah, well, their lawyer is like is he was like part of the same defense team that defended Julian Assange. Um, so,
Yeah,
which it's just like, oh, he got like a serious heavy hitter to defend him in this in this bullshit court process.
it's
Um,
funny. Yeah, it's funny how we're bringing someone who we're bringing an immigrant in for a judicial process, but we can't do it for anyone in here,
um,
right?
my God, God, this thing was maddening. Like for the first couple minutes, because you started hearing like the news was all over the place. On the news was showing like a group of Venezuelan Americans in Miami dancing. I don't know if it was the same group, but it was like it's to say like, see, they're happy about this. They're happy that we committed this act of war, and all I could think of was like they did that like they did that and like I'm not saying they're not real or that was like staged or anything. Yeah, I imagine that a lot of people in like the Venezuelan diaspora are happy that Maduro is gone. There's a reason that they're not in Venezuela anymore, and that's probably why. um it's either him or Chavez, his predecessor. So yeah, no, I understand that. And and I would never simp for a dictator, you know? I'm not pro dictator. I'm
No,
also
no.
not pro intervention because I grew up during that. And
Hmm?
I had this like disturbing thought where, I remember that like we were in Afghanistan for 20 years. We invaded Afghanistan when I was in kindergarten. And when we got out of Afghanistan, I think I was already engaged.
You're engaged, you just weren't married yet.
Yeah, I was engaged and I was in grad school.
Yeah.
We were
But
there that fucking long. And so then I had this thought of like, oh my God, if we do that, but when in Venezuela, is that going to be like another 20 years? Am I going to be like teaching my kid how to drive by the time the America Venezuela fiasco is taken care of? The one silver lining, the one thing I'm glad of is that so far we haven't invaded, which is not to say that we never will, but we haven't done that. We haven't made any effort to install that Maria Machado lady
his VP, you
to
mean? I'm thinking of someone else because I remember people
no, no,
saying,
no, like no, not his, no, because we let his VP take it charge. We didn't let the opposition leader
"Wow,
um
wow."
whose party like supposedly actually won the last election, but it was rigged, so they didn't win. And of course she's a fucking nutcase anyway, but that's another story altogether. So but we left her in the dust, supposedly because Trump was butthurt that she accepted the Nobel Peace Prize instead of being like, no, I can't do it, it belongs to Trump. uh
And what's interesting is you said people in the Venezuelans and the ones in Miami were all cheering. It's like, okay, people cheered in Iran, people cheered in Iraq, people cheered in Afghanistan, people cheered all over the place when we've done the same exact thing. And look what
yeah,
happened.
and then like they weren't cheering anymore.
Hey, look,
Remember,
what
Bush
did
had a guy throw a shoe at his face. So
hey, remember in Rick and Morty? Your boos mean nothing. I know what you cheer for. I know what makes you cheer. Like it's like the same thing. It's like, okay, they're cheering now, and people,
well,
hey, no, it's the same thing. It's like it really is. They're cheering now.
see,
They
I'm not. I don't have animosity towards the people. I have animosity towards the news of like blasting that in
oh, oh, I agree with you.
as
Yes,
like
I'm saying
Noam Chomsky calls manufacturing consent. It's like, oh, they're trying to like get the American people energized to the idea of like we should do the war, we should invade, we should kill, we should sacrifice your sons and daughters in uniform,
yeah,
because look how happy they are. Again, we grew up during this. We saw it unfold. We saw the Dixie Chicks get canceled off of radio, literally, because they dared to say, "Hey, Bush, I don't think invading Iraq is a good idea."
Mhm.
We saw this, and
Yeah.
we're like, "Yeah, no, I understand why they're happy. But we're not. I don't want to do this again."
Isn't that funny how this administration is saying, look how happy foreigners are? It's like, I thought it was supposed to be, look how happy Americans are. Hey, no, really? They're
Yeah, well, yeah, like see the Well, okay, so yeah, this kind of leads into like because right afterwards they started saying, "Oh, we can do this in Cuba, we can do this in Iran." Hey, remember when we talked about Greenland?
yep, Cuba.
And now that's back. Now we're like very seriously talking about invading Greenland or otherwise taking Greenland, and it's like, guys, Greenland's part of Denmark. That's a NATO country. Do you really want to risk going to war with NATO? You know, two of those countries have nukes.
They are because they think the entirety of the European military forces won't do much because we have nukes. They have nukes. It's just we're going to take over. Trump, I think earlier today or yesterday, said that just because a boat landed there 500 years ago doesn't give Denmark claim to land. Hmm, that goes against everything.
Hmm.
But the thing, since we're bringing up Greenland, Greenland, Cuba, Mexico, Colombia. Again, Canada is actually in the conversation. It's just not being drowned out because of Greenland and Denmark. And he's willing to do not just military force, but the same exact thing we did with Venezuela, which is kidnap their president
Yeah.
and then take over, set up shop. And ladies and gentlemen, you can hear him say everything you want about like, oh, it's actually about national security. We're gonna, protect America through that because Greenland's a
Not
perfect.
even that. They're not even saying that anymore.
Also, it's all
That's
minerals
what
and
they
oil.
no, they're straight up being like they're like Stephen Miller was on CNN talking to Jake Tapper and was basically making a might makes right argument. Like they're not even pretending to do the like this is important for national security or we have to take out these dictators because they're bad. They're not even doing that anymore. They're just saying, nah, the Western Hemisphere belongs to America because isn't America awesome?
So we're really doing Manifest Destiny again.
Yeah. Well, that's why they were talking. That's why they were like talking about the Monroe Doctrine again.
So that's why
Like
it's
oh, the hemisphere should be ours.
so
Um,
we're doing what the Japanese Empire did.
they used to be more subtle about. They used to not say that out loud. Like Iraq was about weapons of mass destruction, which didn't
That's
exist.
the
Uh,
smoking gun bullshit.
Afghanistan was a reaction to a very real attack that happened in the United States. And instead of just being like, let's go after the terrorists, they're like, hey, we should like nation build in Afghanistan and do like something way more complicated. And
Remember what we said in our one episode when I quoted W? Empire, real empire.
yeah,
When's ever gonna fuck with us again?
yeah, like and they say that stuff behind closed doors. But now you have Trump being like, oh, we want their oil. Uh, like straight up, like it's almost like a joke. Like that was something it was true with Iraq, but we always joked that was like something we joked about. It's like, oh yeah, we just go to wars for oil.
Yep.
Well, now they're just saying that.
Yeah, that was a Key and
Now they're
Peele
just
skit.
saying that out loud.
Key and Peele skit when they were in their heyday about the joke of America helping only because of oil. It's true. It's not even a joke anymore. It's not even a ha 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 behind closed doors or anything. It's just straight up like we are going to all these places in the Western Hemisphere for minerals and oil, which is
Mhm.
we're doing this for oil. Yet we saw on television the CEO and president of Exxon going like this. We got screwed over twice before. Third time's not a charm.
Well, yeah, and from what I understand in Venezuela, like their oil is like so crude, and the price of oil right now is like actually really low. It's not showing up in my gas prices, but maybe that's just because I live in California. Uh,
Yeah,
but um, but it's like they're like, this isn't really the time to do big foreign investment like this. Like it would be really expensive to refine the oil in Venezuela. So even the oil companies are like, uh, do we want to do this? But also, like, Trump might get mad at us and lower our stock prices, so maybe we should. like take the
Well,
hit
not
and
only
do this
that,
even though we don't want to?
yeah, they don't want to because one, as some experts have estimated, it's going to be over about $100 billion just to set up shop properly in Venezuela alone, not including Cuba, Canada,
Mhm.
Greenland, Mexico, and all that crap. But also, too, I like how you brought that up. Trump said at that little meeting with all the oil executives, the tycoons, that,
Yeah.
hey, you guys can say
Again,
yes.
in front of everybody. Like they're just making it front. This is about the oil. We're doing it for these guys.
No, but what he said to all those people who came to that meeting, all those oil executives, he said, "Hey, you guys can say yes or no. I got 25 other people lined up." And I'm like, "Oh my God, who are the fucking 25? I thought this was the world here. Who the fuck are you talking to?" Because everyone at that table was literally every oil company in the fucking world. You know what I mean? So who the hell is he talking to? Who are these? And I know you could say, "Oh, he's just bullshit tactics. That's just negotiation." But in my head, I'm like, I don't want to know who those 25 people are. Oh God, that just sounds awful. They sound horrible. I'm like, what is this? The Techno Union Army from fucking Star Wars? Is that who you're going to talk to next? Like, Jesus.
Uh,
But yeah, the problem is, folks, with this though, circling back to what you said with the whole Pete Hegseth said in December about we want your sons and daughters, the most precious resource in America. Yeah, they want us between the ages of 18 to let's say 35. Sign
mhm.
up.
Yeah.
They want, well, they need because to do these operations. Because
And they're having a recruitment crisis too.
oh, of course they
Like,
were. Of
yeah.
course they were. Here's the thing. You know why, Travis? You know why there's just an overall recruitment crisis, and it's nothing. It's not just solely this administration. The overallness is our grandfathers and great grandfathers defeated evil in the 40s.
Hmm.
Chinese Empire and the Nazis, so that
Yep.
nothing happened again. We had a bit of a tiff in the 50s and didn't solve that because now we have North Korea's bullshit. And
Hmm.
we decided to throw Americans, mostly the poor ones in America, into
Yep.
the meat grinder in Vietnam. That's why we had the greatest music ever and a really good movie, Apocalypse Now. And then the bullshit of the 90s and the early 2000s. And Americans understand that one, what was the point of our dads, uncles, older cousins and brothers, grandfathers and great grandfathers going to hell and back for us to
Hmm.
have to do it again? The point of my grandfather, my mom's dad, fighting the Japanese in Guadalcanal was so that I wouldn't have to ever pick up a gun. The point of the man I'm named after fighting in Korea was so that I never have to pick up a gun. Again, and I've said this in last season, there's a famous quote from that show, Adams, with Paul Giamatti about John Adams.
Oh yeah, John Adam. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
studying war and politics so my sons can study math and science so that my grandsons can study art
Yeah.
and literature. The
Hmm.
point of our generation, you and me, because that's what we did in high school. We weren't football. We weren't sports stars.
No.
We were artists. You were a singer and an actor. I was an actor and a dancer, and we both were writers. The point
Hmm.
of what our grandfathers did was so that now, right now, is all about the expansion and exploration of art. But no, we're going at it again.
Yeah. And
We're,
also, the generation that would be signing up for the military is raised by, millennials, of which we're kind of on the younger side of millennials, but like people who did grow up under Bush
yeah,
and saw Iraq and Afghanistan, which,
fully solid.
historically now it like has kind of, from my perspective, it seems like the general American consciousness is now writing those off as like abject policy failures. Like everyone knows WMDs were bullshit and that Iraq was just about oil. Afghanistan failed because as soon as we pulled out, our puppet government that we created fell apart and the Taliban came back. So it's like, what was the point of those 20 years over there? And not to mention all the money that was wasted because those were, to invade a country and occupy it is very expensive when you could have
Yes.
put that money in like, you know, social services, education, healthcare, and all that stuff. Oh, and the Bush administration and successive presidencies afterwards proceeded to make cuts at those things. So it's like, you know, we're sacrificing the future
Yes.
The viability of the future generations for these bullshit wars that amounted to nothing. And you wonder why, like, the military's having a hard time recruiting people because, people like us, and maybe people that were really like people 10 years older than us are like, are raising kids and teaching their kids, don't don't join because there's never been a war worth fighting in since maybe the 40s. We don't fight in real wars anymore.
No.
Don't sacrifice your life for this.
The 50s
Um,
could have been a real war, but we decided to do the bullshit.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
Um,
And the thing is, too, you're right, because um, we're at the point in our humans history, in our species history, where we should be honestly that quote unquote awesomeness of that 1999 and early 2000s, where we were like, okay, yeah, there's some dangerous parts of the world, but hey, there's some kind of dangerous parts in the streets, but we can work it out. Just
mhm.
go around it. Like, okay, the, well, we all saw the jokes of like, I mean, not jokes, those jokes, and also seriousness of, let's take an example. Okay, we're talking about California because that's where you and I are,
Mhm.
Californians, Watts,
Yeah.
Compton and ghettos. It's like, just don't be stupid. Maybe don't go there, or don't be stupid if you're there. That was the most we had in the sense of tension, which should have been because you start
Yeah.
because then later on it'll get better. But no, because now the government wants bodies. They need bodies because one, to occupy any fucking foreign, any other place, basically occupation, as we've been taught before, is it requires three times whatever the population is. So
Mhm.
what the population of Venezuela is, we need three times. That's how many troops we need. Greenland, same thing. Cuba, same thing. Mexico, Colombia.
The-
And the thing is, we're not doing this for dictators or, we got to protect America in the sense of drugs because one, you said it, Trump pardoned a drug dealer. He
yeah.
did. He he is friends shaking hands with dictators, Putin
Yes.
and China. Those are dictators.
Mhm.
And you could say all you want about like, well, the Venezuelan president, his presidency was illegitimate because he ignored the election. All right, that's the equivalent of when Putin a few years ago signed that contract deal for a 33-year plus presidency.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. Kiss my
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah. And I've been thinking, Greenland seems to be, at least at time of recording, uh, we haven't done anything yet, but it's like it's the thing that we're talking about the most. Trump
Mhm.
did like an interview with the New York Times where he basically said he didn't really care about international law. I think he literally said his own limits is like his own morality,
He did.
you
He
know.
said, yeah. He is
And
basically Judge Dredd.
and I'm thinking like, okay, because okay, a few things. This is where it's getting really scary. Where I'm like, how long is it going to be before we get sanctioned? Where we have like trade embargoes,
I'm
and
glad you
and
brought that
and
up.
where which is, I mean, that's going to hurt. That's definitely going to hurt us, like the
Yes.
actual people. Our economy is going down, but also it's like this is this is the appropriate thing you do to like to like hold a country back because otherwise you're being like fucking Neville Chamberlain. Like, what, let's say we actually try to invade Greenland. Is Denmark and Are Denmark and NATO going to respond? Are they
Yes.
actually going to fight us, or are they just going to do what they've done every time we misbehave internationally and just be like, eh, whatever, it's just a
Um,
bunch of snow, whatever. Of which at that point it's like America could do anything. Like, we are above the rest of the world. No one, we're accountable to no one. We don't have to like invade and conquer everything. We just rule the world automatically at that point. And there's some people that think, will we already do that or we should do that? And it's like, I thought
no.
like after World War II, I mean, I don't want to say the age of empires is over, but like, because the imperialism still existed. It was just a lot more subtle. It was like debt based, oh, we'll
Yeah.
invest a lot in your country to develop a certain way that serves us. So, like, that kind of imperialism, not just, oh no, we want to have direct political control over your land and,
Yeah.
and
Like
strip
Japan,
strip
Germany.
mine your resources, fuck your citizens. You're ours now. And it's we're in the 19th century again. We just
That's
have nukes and the internet now.
yeah. To bring up what you said though, before we started recording, Travis, about a couple hours ago, I was looking online. Apparently, Denmark has given the citizens of Greenland, the green light to shoot if any American soldiers step on land.
Yeah, I know. I think Greenland has said that, like, yeah, we're prepared to like shoot and or like we're prepared to like
Right.
actually defend it. We'll see. Well, I don't want to see,
No, no one wants to see
but
this.
I was like, we'll see if they actually mean it. It's like, you really are you ready? Are you genuinely ready to throw down and hold us accountable? Which, by all means, they should be.
Of
They
course.
really should be because this country is run by a fucking madman. Congress is like, for the past like decades, they have shirked their responsibility on, like, we need to approve we need to approve a declaration of war. I don't understand why the US military can't just tell the president, well, wait a second, we need Congress's permission slip as constitutionally mandated. Like, if you're doing a mission to kidnap another president, to kidnap a president of another country, how come nobody is standing up and saying, wait, that is technically an act of war. We should wait till Congress should have a say on this. Like, you're like, really? Like, what's the point of even having that in the Constitution unless, or in the law with like war powers resolution? What's the point of having that if you're not, if, if nobody's gonna abide, nobody in any level is gonna abide by that rule. Um,
One answer, and it's pretty dark because it brings what you were saying kind of brought me back to the 1980s movie Red Dawn. I don't know if you
mhm,
remember that, but when Powers Booth's character is explaining to the main cast of like what happened, how did World War III start, why did
mhm.
it start, he had a line saying, "Who knows? Maybe someone just forgot how it felt." That most simplest human explanation of, maybe just someone forgot how it felt and wanted to feel it again. Who knows? I mean, just really like why, because you're bringing up why isn't the military saying something? It's like that's sadly simple. Because
I mean,
also, yeah,
yeah.
because to do what is being said to do is an act of war. We already did an act of war. People say, "Oh, we just kidnapped. We didn't really do it." It's like, no, it is. It is an act of war. Because if it was done to us, that would be an act of war.
Yeah,
The
like,
same thing.
look, I don't like Trump, but I would be kind of freaked. I would be freaking the fuck out if say like some
Russia.
other country invaded American soil, broke into the White House, and kidnapped our president. Like, that would, even if it's Trump, like, I
It's
wouldn't
good.
just be like, oh, thank God, I submit to you, I roll over like a puppy, do
Oh,
whatever you want to. No, like, it's fucked up.
yeah. That's literally what's written in alternative fiction books.
Yeah.
But now we're doing this, and the rest of the world is saying like, knock it off. Europe is ready to turn its backs on us. Russia's like, oh, we got ideas now, you hypocritical bitches. And China's like this. All right,
I'll
we can
believe
play.
that I'll believe that Europe is serious about this when like economic sanctions come into play.
Well, I'm glad
But
you brought up
right
things.
now, I think it's just a bunch of strongly worded letters and grandstanding. But like, how fucking serious are you guys? What is your red line? Because I feel like we've crossed it.
Well,
I
we
feel like
did.
we've crossed several.
Well, some sorts of sanctions are appearing as we are seeing now. Apparently, over 16,000 World Cup tickets have been refunded. And board is having an emergency meeting because when we talk about sanctions, in my head, I'm not thinking economical in the sense of trade routes, supplies, relationships. I'm thinking what's going on right now, what America is doing, and what we're
Mhm.
doing inside our country. We need to be kicked out of the World Cup and it needs to be hosted somewhere else. We need to be taken out of the Winter Olympics, which starts in February in Italy. These
Mhm.
Summer Olympics need to happen somewhere else without us. And to further it more, because football, for example, has been played in Europe now a lot this
Yep.
season. See, all sports in America, the seasons need to be over. it's a sad thing to say, but those are the sanctions I'm starting to see because it's like this. Wow, 16,000 tickets being refunded for FIFA alone for the World Cup. That's not a joke. That because
Yeah, they're worried they're gonna get like deported for stupid reasons because even if they have like their green card and they're well, they haven't overstayed. Like everybody's, yeah, like
well, it's not only
if you
it's
want to see the World Cup in America, yeah, you're probably rethinking those plans because you're like, especially after we'll get to that, especially what happened a couple days ago. You're like, sorry, I don't want to get shot and killed and then left for dead by government agents
it's not just that.
for things that I didn't fucking do just because I'm a foreigner. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, no wonder there's lots of tickets being refunded.
but it's not just that.
Um,
It's
yeah.
traveling during war, during
Hmm.
or it's traveling during a possible future global war. It's not just what like will I be safe within these borders of America? It's I have to travel across the Atlantic and the Pacific during a possible war. That's what it is. That's a part of it. That's the sad thing. It's not just what we think, it's that. And that's where we're at globally. It's like we could lose a lot of allies, even though
Yeah.
personally, I never thought they were allies. I always thought we just had business partners. But let's see. You're right. Europe might not be as serious. We'll find out. But the fact is still that Denmark gave Greenland citizens the green light to say,
Yep.
hey, Papa soldier, pop in a U.S.
Yeah.
soldier,
Get your armed services activated. Yeah.
buy
Um,
guns, get armed services, hunker and tie. It's almost like, we shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the streets. Is that basically what they're saying to do to us? And then
mhm.
it's like, okay, America, are you willing for the sake of security and more resources, uh, are American soldiers killing kids, killing people? That's what it is.
And even then, like the resources, like these resources, like okay, you know,
That's it.
the last thing we should talk about with this is like, how is this going to benefit us? We're kind of like at the, they're like trying to speed run, like kind of like the final stage of like autocracy and fascism, where it's like, okay, you know how we elected us to like, I don't know, bring down housing, bring down groceries, and you know how we didn't actually do any of that? We just kind of came into the power and told you to fuck off. Like, you're getting mad about that. War. Time to shut up because war. Like this always happens. It's
Yeah,
like when leaders can't like do anything good with their citizens, and the citizens start getting angry, like fuck it, we'll start a war. And like we're gonna do like okay, we're gonna take all these resources in oil. Do you think that's gonna bring gas prices down, or do you think oil companies are gonna like we'll keep charging them because I mean that's what they've been doing anyway. It's like we could bring him down more, but we're not because
gas will never
you're
be
gonna pay for him anyway.
gas will never be under $2 again. Let's just be honest with ourselves.
Like, is any of this going to, for Americans, like, this abundance of material wealth, is any of this going to come back to us, the common people? No.
No,
Is it going to bring our rent down? No.
no,
Is it going to make our groceries less expensive? No. Is it going to help me with my medical bills? No. This is like, no, it's just going to make Trump's buddies richer.
that's
And
all
they
it is.
want to, yeah. So,
Oh,
like,
it
this
is.
benefits us in absolutely no way.
It's
And
making
even if it did, it's still wrong.
yes, because it's making money for people who already have money. But you actually said it. Let's say all this oil and minerals and extended territory
Mhm.
actually benefit everyone top down, from the bottom of the barrel, struggling to pay rent American, all the way to the like, I can pay my rent 20 times over kind of American. That's
Mhm.
still wrong.
It's still wrong. Yeah. What about the people that were invading?
It's still wrong because
Oh,
one,
we just like destroyed their infrastructure.
no,
In
no, no, no,
in
no, it's not that. It's not they're showing errors. We're killing.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
this is the same mentality that the Nazis and the Japanese had. Manifest destiny.
Lebensraum, as the Nazis called it,
Yeah,
living
Lebensraum.
space.
The Japanese called it their right to own the Pacific. And you know
Hmm.
what happened? Didn't help out the Japanese people at when they got all the way to Guam and Guadalcanal, didn't help them at all. They were
You
still
know,
there. What
You know what's
prosperity?
amazing about people who fetishize like the Nazi, like maybe even if they're not like neo-Nazis, but like kind of people who are obsessed with World War II and talk about like like Nazi aesthetics and whatever. Like you do realize the Third Reich only lasted 12 years. The Third Reich The TV show Supernatural lasted longer than the Third Reich. Grey's Anatomy has been on longer than the Third Reich has ever existed. Like Hitler, some people like to say like Hitler was some like, you talk about Hitler with like the status that we talk about like Alexander the Great or Genghis Khan as like, a modern day conqueror. Like, no, he was a ginormous fuck up. He was on a roll conquering all of Europe and he lost it all like as soon as he got it.
Also, too,
Um
while I was looking at my phone real quick, because you said TV shows that lasted longer than the Third Reich, there is one specific TV show that lasted the exact same length of the Third Reich. You know what that one show is called? The Big Bang
uh
Theory.
oh, okay.
So the
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
Bang
12 seasons, 12 years, yeah.
give people perspective specifically. I know there's other shows that last for 12 years, but basically to give you a specific of like the biggest show that had one of the biggest shows, Big Bang
Mhm.
as long as the Third Reich. Keep that in perspective, ladies and gentlemen. The Third Reich lasted as long as Sheldon Cooper's Bazinga. And guess what? Guess what? Big Bang Theory has more spin-offs. Young Sheldon, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage.
More spin-offs than the Nazis did. Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Because you know why? All those Nazis that fled to Argentina, they're not living luxurious lives. They're not. They're not at all.
Even if
So,
they died a free, even if they died free, like okay, they died in living in obscurity, and like in the case of Joseph or Joseph Mengele, like they didn't like he died like in the 70s, but they didn't identify him as Joseph Mengele. Like they had to dig up the body and identify him as Joseph Mengele, and that happened like in the 90s.
yeah. So there we go. Yeah, that's where we're at. So, um, yeah, that's where we're
Yeah.
at on the global stage. That's where we're at. We are threatening basically the world of fuck off. We want this. We deserve it. We own it. We get it. We're going to take everything. And then the president will be solely responsible for the money flow. One man
Hmm.
is going to have sole control of the money flow in and out. But hey, let's talk about within our country. How about that, Travis? You take over.
But it just, what this all reminds me of. What I've been thinking. Well, the one thing I've been thinking about through all of this, and I guess it's more on me and how I time this. Tom, have you finished the final season of Stranger Things?
I don't have Netflix anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
So,
Have you
by the
watched? Yep.
correct though, when we were talking about Stranger Things in our Mother's Day episode, it wasn't the first two seasons I watched. I actually watched the first three,
Okay.
but I haven't seen the last three. Yeah, three seasons, right? Because it's six seasons total, technically.
It's five.
But there's
But
in five.
they took like 3 years to make them. So
Uh,
like yeah.
no,
Well,
I haven't. I'm
first
curious.
of all, I was right
Oh.
about Mike's mom. Uh, but no, like in the final season of Stranger Things, um, do you care about
Okay.
spoilers?
Nah,
Okay.
you're the only person who can spoil stuff for me.
Okay, all right. Well, if for anyone listening, if you haven't seen it, that's on you. It's been out for a couple. The final episode's been out for a couple weeks now. But in the final season of Stranger Things, like the town of Hawkins gets quarantined, occupied, by the U.S. Army, which is interesting. Like it is unmistakably the U.S. Army. It even says that their uniforms U.S. Army, which is I found interesting because most of the time in like science fiction, when there's like some evil government stuff, it's usually some fictional thing, some
Yeah.
fictional black ops deep state stuff. Like, in the X-Files, it was the Syndicate. In Stargate, it was the NID or the Trust, which was even deeper. Or, the first couple Michael Bay Transformers movies, it was Sector 7,
Yeah.
right? That was John
And
Turturro's thing.
every fictional U.S. Black Ops organization wears dark blue or black, head to toe.
But here, it's the U.S. Army, and it is 100% in the final season. Like even the first couple seasons of Stranger Things did that like fictionalized, stuff. But no, the
Oh,
final
you're
season
talking
of
about
Stranger Things, it is full on the U.S. Army that's taken over. Even like the evil scientist that that is running the operation, played by Linda Hamilton, she is a major general in the U.S. Army.
good for her for still acting. She's amazing.
Yeah, no, she's great. I didn't care for the way she was written out or not written out. But anyway, and okay, I'll just say this. Watching this I'm going to say something that might get me canceled out of context, but watching the final season of to watch the final season of Stranger Things as a fan is to revel in delight at watching American soldiers being maimed and murdered
Oh yeah.
because they are the bad guys. They like there's Vecna and the Demogorgons from the Upside Down. The U.S. Army is almost as bad in the final season of Stranger Things. Like they are depicted as basically like evil villain henchmen from like, any action movie you've ever seen. They are depicted as uncaring, apathetic, ruthless. Linda Hamilton has no redeeming qualities as a person, her character in the show. I'm sure she's great in real life. But she is like her character, Major General Dr. K, has no redeeming qualities as a person. She is evil to the bone. She might as well have a twirled mustache. And when U.S. Army soldiers start biting it in the tens, maybe even hundreds, I was like, yeah, yeah, send those guys to Arlington. You know, send those. But and it's not just Demogorgons that kill them, by the way. 11 is snapping their necks. Hopper is shooting these people at the face, and the television show makes no pussyfooting moral. It never tries to give any nuance to them. It's like they are bad. They are the bad guys. They are in the way. They are worthless. They deserve to lose their lives. That is the moral logic of the final season of Stranger Things. And I found that so fascinating. One, that no one's talking about that, probably because there's a bunch of other stuff happening as well that everyone's focused on, but no one's talking about the outright villainization of the US military in the most popular TV show that has come out in the last decade. Um,
Yeah, basically this
nope.
was the next Game of Thrones in the sense of popularity.
Yeah, yeah. Like America, like they released the final episode in theaters. It was that big. And the episode was really, really long.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Jesus.
it was like 2.5 hours long.
No, yeah,
uh,
no, you're right. No one's talking about it. You know what? I'm glad you said that because a lot of that has happened that no one talks about.
mhm.
Where a movie does villainize the U.S. military like that, and this
Well,
movie
I'm
just
just
showed it.
wondering. Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, how did they get away with that? Was it just like, is that how far the blank check Netflix gave the Duffer Brothers went? Where it's like, do whatever you want. I'm sure they got no DoD support, like a lot of movies and TV shows that use military, that involve the U.S. military being depicted, and where it's like, hey, we want to use your uniforms, we want to use your. That there's a lot of Humvees driving around. I doubt the DoD,
Well,
or I'm sorry, Department of War gave him leased them out to them.
my only explanation for that, even though it's kind of timely, sadly, is that this is set in alternative 1980s. So that could be the way they didn't care about it.
I
Because here's the thing.
guess.
Here's the thing. You said, okay, I haven't seen it, but you're saying Stranger Things in the final season was very upfront, blatant, no holds bar. The U.S. Army is evil.
Yes.
Jurassic World, the first one, was very anti-military because Vincent D'Onofrio's, is it Vincent D'Onofrio's that actor's name?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
One,
know. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, and he was contracted, I believe, with the Army too.
Yeah. But it wasn't like
Up front. I know it wasn't up front, but I'm
it
saying
was like he was a military contractor. He wasn't the military.
he
He
was
would just
selling it
worked. He just did work to benefit them. And
military though. He was ex-military. He fought. He is a veteran, that character. Hey, Tater Tot, what's up, boy?
yeah.
Uh,
Hey, Tater Tot,
but it's the
how's it
same
going?
thing that like this anti-military stuff sometimes people don't talk about, and I'm referencing a movie almost 10 years old or about 10 years old.
Oh my
It's
God, has it been that long?
Yeah, it's this though, and it's timely though. You're saying what happened with Hawkins because what just happened a couple days ago.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know if it was like maybe they just captured a pulse. Yeah, so we might be at the point now in our degradation of democracy where federal government paramilitaries can just shoot regular people on the streets and get off scot-free. Um, and to put this in perspective, I don't know actually know how many countries can like where that's really normalized because like I mean think about it, like China for example. China's not exactly a bastion of democracy. Hold on. Tater wants to be on camera. Oh,
Hey, Todd.
okay. He can join the conversation. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Here, let me get you up. There we go, boy. There we go, boy. Um, he's disappearing from the camera because I can't turn off auto frame. I don't know how to do that. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, you know, like China, I'm pretty sure China, like their police, like maybe there's some disappearings every now and then, but like you just get arrested. Like their marketing is like if they can't just like kill people on the streets, like they have bigger standards than that. Like they're a proper country. But like Iran does that. You know, like the have you been hearing what's been happening in Iran right now?
Yeah, you know why
Yeah,
I've been hearing about it?
because of me.
Because our administration says we'll go and help.
Which I really hope they don't. That's how they
They
got the
will.
Ayatollah in the first place, is because we gave them a dictator and they didn't like it, so they brought in a worse one. No,
And
they're having like massive, it's been like 2 weeks, like massive like protests all around the country. The government had to black out their internet.
yeah,
Or well, they felt they had to black out their, all right, he wants down. Puppy wants down. Okay.
I had a fever
Um,
blacked out the internet.
yeah, and but just because I think like their economy's taking a hit. I know that like the capital, Tehran, they have to actually move the capital to like another city because they're gonna lose water access because the climate's that bad. That's so they're having like major civil uprisings, which are illegal in Iran, and there's been reports excuse me, of like the IRCG, which is basically like Iran's the Islamic Republic of Iran's Gestapo force, just shooting protesters on the street, and nobody's going to get in trouble for that
Nope.
because it's a full on third world dictatorship. I'm sure North Korea also functions like that too, and now the Trump administration wants to make it like that as well
Yes.
because up in Minneapolis, yeah, some untrained, blowhard, which the only way to explain it, because regular police don't really act. Most like normal police don't act like this, but ICE is not a real police force. Yeah, some asshole in fatigues named Jonathan Ross shot a woman in her SUV,
Three times.
uh,
Two in the
three
face.
bullets.
Two
Yeah,
in the
three
face.
times. As she was trying to move out of the way, which is what they told her to do. And that is what happened. You can watch all the videos, including the one that was taken from the guy's iPhone that the White House stupidly shared, thinking, "Oh, this is going to make us look good,"
That's
when it
not.
actually just made them look worse. Um, you know, it- they they, they fucking shot this lady, and you can see like she's trying to be conciliatory. She's like, "Hey, I don't want a problem. I'm just trying. I'm just trying to move out of the way." You can actually see her attempt to move out of the way, except that then a truck drove by and then she stopped. And that's when they started surrounding her like a pack of wolves when she was just trying to move on. Yeah, she's a legal observer, like she was observing their activity and whatever, but she was trying to keep a safe distance, which is what you're supposed to do. And she was like, "Hold on, all right, I'm not going to be a problem. Let me move out of the way. I don't want a problem with you." And they shot her. And the federal government's like trying to smear her reputation, calling her a domestic terrorism,
All they're
which
doing.
in this day and age, terrorism is just anything I don't like
Travis, they're doing worse
nowadays.
than smearing her by calling her a domestic terrorist. They're just saying automatic, well, she's a lesbian. They're going for the bottom of the barrel with smearing her as a person,
Oh
which
yeah,
is,
they're going for like every, do you
you know,
hate this type of person? Okay, then she deserved to die.
you know what else they're
Like,
describing her as to smear her?
mhm.
This, as Jesse Waters said, or whatever the fuck is it Waters or Walters? His last name, Jesse Waters.
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 Yeah.
He started off as a smear campaign to smear her name as a person. Oh, this self-proclaimed poet.
I mean, she was a poet.
No, 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 no,
She
no.
did.
But like, listen, no, listen to that though. And
Yeah,
then
no.
smear and degrade a human being who is dead,
Yeah.
lesbian, and a poet.
Hmm.
Which one? I don't. I don't give a shit who you fuck as long as it's not a child and an animal. Let's be honest. That's just right.
Yeah. It's like he's assuming like, oh, if
Human,
you
yeah,
know, if you hate lesbians,
and
I got
poetry.
your back.
If you hate literature,
If you hate poetry because you think writers are pussies or
I
something,
got your back.
uh, that's like feminine woman shit and not real. That's not a real job or a real career. She was not contributing anything. She only had a 6-year-old boy and a dog who was literally in the back seat.
Got 3 kids actually, total of
Yeah,
3.
that's right. She has 3 kids. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because she was like gonna pick up her kid she was gonna pick the youngest one from school. Yeah, yeah, right. She has 3 kids.
By
Um,
the way, her ex-husband, who's deceased, or I don't know if irregardless, her husband, the father of the children, was a vet. He's dead, but he was a vet.
mhm.
He was a veteran of war. So it's like, are we supposed to love our wives of veterans kind of thing?
No, not if not
What?
unconditionally. Not if
Yeah.
you don't lick the government's boots.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I don't know if you saw. I forget the gentleman's name, but I posted on our Instagram story. One of the news outlets, an anchor said, "You comply, and then you get to keep your life on live television."
Comply or die. Was that like a Newsmax, or was that like one of the crazy right wing
That wasn't
outlets? Or
Newsmax, but that was
oh,
an actual news channel where a
yeah.
guy said, "You comply with the law, comply with what officers command and direct you as, and then you get to keep your life."
If an officer wants to stick his dick in your butt, you will comply. That's how this works. You just do whatever they say.
And
You have no rights,
no,
really.
no,
The Constitution is just something you wipe your butt with.
well,
It's amazing how many people actually believe that too. Like how many regular
yes,
Americans
yes,
believe this comply or die bullshit. It's like, okay, so you don't actually believe in civil rights.
no,
This Constitution that you claim to love, that you were told in 8th grade that we should worship the ground of the founding fathers for creating this glorious living document. You don't actually care about that
no,
because as long as you believe this comply or die nonsense, you don't believe you have any rights. You don't believe you should assert your rights. um you are, I mean, bootlicker. I mean, nowadays I think bootlicker is just so, maybe it's just like antiquated, old tamey. I'm the more, I don't know, or maybe I'm just more crass, but like, I just think of like what happens when you drop the soap in prison, like it's like you were ordered to drop the soap and accept whatever happens to you afterwards. Um, like it's gonna be like there's gonna be reports of like ICE. I'm sure it's probably happened. Just like this isn't the first time ICE has murdered somebody, you know,
no,
with impunity. But it's so, but the circumstances of it, like there's so many cameras pointing at it, so it was very public. The fact that it wasn't an immigrant and it wasn't like a person of color, it was a white woman, a pretty like, and I don't want to like,
no. It's fucked up to say it, but say it.
looks do matter for optics. She was a very effeminate looking woman.
She was a white American citizen who's
Mhm.
who has children, who gave birth,
Yep.
who has yeah, you said feminine, everything like that. Had that you heard her voice saying, "It's okay, I'm not mad at you." Who had a
Yeah.
sweet voice, who was shot twice in the face. It's okay
It
to
does.
say, hey,
Yeah.
you know what? It's okay to say that. I was at work throughout the rest of the week talking to a few of my coworkers about it because we were talking about it, and we brought up it's like, yeah, and it's that very sad, dark kind of joke, and I'm not trying to make a joke out of it, but it is that sad joke of like, wow, they finally shot a white woman.
Yeah.
Think about it. Just think about that.
Hmm.
Wow. It's the thing about that line. Wow, they finally shot a white woman.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, and that's where we're at now. And that's why the protests are happening slowly throughout all the country. Minneapolis for sure, and Portland, which by the way, two people got shot in Portland
Yeah.
and all of
Yeah, but
that.
they didn't die. You know what's funny? Like the government tried to make it be like, oh yeah, these are illegal immigrants. They're like members of Aragua from Venezuela. After they were shot, they called the police. Like
Yes.
after Border Patrol shot them and they got away, they called the police. So clearly they were not if they were hardened criminals, they were stupid because they clearly were not worried about facing legal repercussions.
By the way, too, when it comes to people saying, because we're talking about legal repercussions now, like, oh, it was self-defense what he was doing. You know how many videos of officers of the law where a car's coming at him, you see them like running out of the way. Yes, their guns are pointed at the person, but they're literally dodging the car and still yelling commands. Like no shots have been fired.
Yeah, and I also think it's technically illegal for cops to do that in that type of situation.
I don't know,
Also one of the bullets went through the side window.
well, that's what I'm saying though. There's video that has been released to remind the public of our current and past when it comes to law enforcement dealing with people, just people. They have
Hmm.
guns drawn, but they're literally moving out of the way of the car. Like they're running away. They're still getting out of the way. They're still yelling.
Yeah,
And yes, you could say like they don't even have their guns pointed. It exasperates the situation. But you're watching cops jump out of the way. Jump out of the way, jump out of the way, jump out of the way, get distance.
yeah.
They're surrounding the car, by the way, but they're still out of the way.
And they're at one point like, and like they're at one point they're like telling her, they're giving her like conflicting commands.
Oh, we're
They're
talking
telling
about
her move your
yeah.
car
Oh
and
yeah.
then get out of the car, and then
Well, because
she decides,
they
yeah,
have no training to be a law enforcement. They
they have no
don't.
training, they have no synchronicity. They're not
They're
like
in, by the way,
they're just winging
they're
it.
in to show you they have no training or synchronicity. He was in a personal car. They're not using federal
Yes.
cars. They're using literally personal civilian cars. So that's what shows you that it's all a clusterfuck. The reason why from the jump people had a problem with ICE is
Hmm.
because we knew yes, part of it has to do with the evil of like, what the fuck are you doing targeting people like this?
Yeah.
Another reason was because we knew subconsciously right off the bat there would be no training of any
Hmm.
kind. Yes, should people be coming in here be legal, even though it's a fucked up word because we're people, like you said in our very first episode of this whole podcast? It's like, what the fuck are we doing with these border laws? We're human. But when it
My answer is I don't care.
Yeah, no, you're right. But fine, let's play that game of legal and legal. We knew this was not going to be the right way to make quote unquote legal only. It wasn't because these guys have no training. These guys are using their own cars, apparently. They're not even working together as a unit. They're just basically all over the place, like just acting like their own, not even working together fully. They're not.
They're marauders, and they don't live in the places where they're sent to.
No, they live in a
It's not like,
hotel. They lived in a hotel. Remember? Because recently,
yeah,
because in Minneapolis, all the protesters surrounded the hotel and started honking their horns to make them not be able to sleep. They're not
yeah.
it's a clusterfuck of how this setup was for ICE because it's bullshit. The evilness came
Hmm.
from this bullshit setup. Even more so too, this guy is being hidden. I don't know if you saw pictures came out. ICE itself helped him move, unpack up
Yeah.
his ass and move.
They're literally hiding him from justice. The government and
So they
uh,
will. This is the thing. If you are going to say Christy Gnomes and JD Vance that this guy is innocent, he's completely innocent, and the quote unquote
mhm.
bullshit, they have immunity. Why are you moving him? Why are you hiding him? Ah,
Yeah. Well, it's just yeah, everything about the reaction to this shows like they know how bad this is.
and
Like
they
they
can't
did not
say
want this
yes,
to
no.
happen.
And they can't say it's for him, his wife, and his children's safety. They can't say that because those pictures were taken right on his front lawn and nothing happened to the house. No one rushed.
Hmm.
No one rushed him. No one
Yep.
rushed him and his ice and his fellow ice buddies or his family, his wife and his children have not been put in danger by the public. So you can't bullshit us about saying, well, it's for their safety. No one came for them.
Yeah.
No, the photographers were there. So obviously everyone knows where this guy lives and his neighbors know him and all that. His name is out to the public. Jonathan Ross, everyone has his name out.
Yeah.
Yes, Jonathan and Ross may be a common first name and surname,
Yeah.
but it's the internet age. Everyone
It's
knows who this guy is.
it's
His
funny like Googling his name because in Great Britain there's apparently like a famous talk show host also named Jonathan Ross. He has
yes,
like
there is. Mhm.
I think his show you even they even aired a show on like BBC America at one point. Like I was
Oh,
like,
no,
why does that name sound familiar?
yeah, it is. But that's what I'm saying. So they know he's fucked up. He know he's
Hmm.
fucked up because we watched the video. You
Yeah.
watched him walk away into his car. Sure, you could say like, well, he hollered saying, "Call 911, call 911." Yeah, but he left.
Yeah, and they left and they didn't like
He left.
offer they didn't do resuscitation, which I think is like for most
All
officers of the
cops
law
do
is
it.
actually required you're required to be trained how to do that. No resuscitation. They weren't letting anybody in. There was like
No,
a guy who was like it's like, "Hey, a guy who claimed to be a physician is like, "Hey, can I like check up on her and give her first aid?" No.
I
No.
don't. No, 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 no. I don't care.
Yeah.
It wasn't no. They didn't say
Just
no.
let her bleed out in the driver's
I
seat.
don't care. And if anything, that should everyone should take that as the ICE motto. I do not care.
Yeah.
And now we're in a dark situation too, because I'll bring it back again when we said to swirl around with the sanction part. This is very serious what's happening with inside our borders. And
Hmm.
honestly, we have a problem in our country that we need to seriously fix.
Yeah.
And that's why I said all American sports seasons, we're done. We're done. No sports. We're done. Entertainment wise, filming, shut it all down. We got a lot to work on right now. We need to take this so seriously that I think the NFL season should stop. Really.
Well, I have a different idea. My thing is that what we need to be hearing from like mayors and governors. Like we've heard from Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, he said, ICE get the fuck out of our city. And everyone's like, whoa, he used the no-no word. Whoa. It's like, no, no, no. Here's what I want to hear from him, from
Everyone.
like
Everyone.
Governor Walz, from Governor. I would love to hear this from Governor Gavin Newsom. If Governor Gavin Newsom said what I'm about to suggest, he'd probably earn my vote through 2028. That's how serious this is. I want these guys to say, not just we will not collaborate with ICE. We will not cooperate with ICE. I don't want them to just say that. I don't want them to just say we're a sanctuary city, we're a sanctuary state. I want them to say we do not recognize ICE's authority. I want them to say like ICE is not a real police agency. ICE is a paramilitary force. Until such conditions are met where ICE is forbidden from covering their faces to where they can't be identified, because we live in what we call a free country where we don't have secret police. Um, until
Yeah.
that condition is met, until Jonathan Ross is behind bars, as well as I think a lot of ICE agents, a lot of other ICE agents who committed criminal actions. Um, and by behind bars, I mean, let's be realistic, arrested, facing charges. We'll wait till the trial plays out. Until those conditions are met, we will not recognize ICE operations within our jurisdiction. If ICE is conducting operations, police are obligated to arrest them on site no matter what.
I think the mayor
Not
clearly,
even like if they're doing crimes, just like if they're doing anything,
yeah, I
arrest them.
think the mayor
Like
clearly said that. Like they're gonna start arresting ICE.
I hope so. I know I hope so, but I want to hear that like out loud. Like I want to hear that like defiance. And could that be like a little secessionist? Yeah,
Well, no, no,
but
no, no. It's American. That's the whole point of America. People understand like America was born out of rebellion, so we're always rebel.
mhm.
And it's like people don't get it, or it's like if you cover your face, why are you hiding? Who was the first American assholes to cover their faces? The KKK.
Mhm.
Why do you think that? I mean, even though I love reading comics and watching superhero movies, The last Batman movie was showing that Batman is a problem because of vigilantism because he was covering his fucking face. Remember, the
Yep.
Batman Begins movie ends like that. What do you mean escalation? Look at you. Look how
Oh
you're
yeah.
you're causing this shit, dude.
Hmm.
You're trying to have the quote unquote good intentions, but when you cover your face, you open up a can of worms.
Yeah. Like
Cover, covering
yeah.
your face, or who, if you're on the side of justice and prosperity, and we're going to protect the American people and the American way of life, why are you covering your face? Cops don't do that. FBI doesn't cover their face. CIA doesn't cover their
Nope.
face. NSA, organization that is the ATF. Were there? Hey, was the ATF's face covered during Waco? Hmm.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No, like, we know who those guys we know who the people involved were
You
in
know what, though,
Waco.
man?
We knew as it was happening.
Here's the best part. Because I was watching during the Minneapolis protests. Um, Someone was interviewing a veteran, and he said, "We don't even cover our faces in combat when we were in Iraq and Afghanistan. When we covered
Hmm.
our faces, it was because it was like cold.
Yeah,
It was cold. Like, and he said this, like cold, cold, not like, it's kind of chilly. It was like, no, it was like really freaking cold in that desert.
like yeah, like oh, my hair is going to
Freezing.
turn to frosted tips, you
Like
know?
frostbite, no, frostbite on the nose because I work in
Hmm.
degree weather, so I know what
Yeah.
that is. So I'm just saying, it's like there you go, there you go. And they were wearing masks in LA. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, the I like again, I agree with understanding. Like, hey, we want to make sure no one's a criminal. We want to make sure only good intentions are coming in this country. I understand that, but when you have ICE set up the way it is, we knew it was evil because of how you have it set up.
Yeah, they're a and to be fair and to be clear, they're not just like this year. They were like this during Trump 1. They were like this during Biden. They were like this under Obama.
They've
Okay. This is an escalation. They've certainly, like, the current administration has escalated things, but this has been a problem for a while and across party lines. Like, Democratic presidents have not addressed this problem properly, and which to address this problem properly is to just abolish the entire organization altogether. Um, but
root and
you know,
stem.
yeah,
Also,
root
too,
and stem.
look into how Border Patrol is because Border Patrol is supposed to be at the border of the country, not within the states.
Hmm.
It's a mixture, it's a whole complete mixture of like we are dealing with very dangerous times in our country. And I like when you posted on your stories someone saying, I think it was whatever chat online group it is. I'm just going to say Twitter because I'm a troglodyte. I can't tell the difference. Someone from a foreign European country was tweeting, it was on your story, it was on your Instagram story. Why aren't Americans doing something? Why aren't they standing up? The response was, because I don't want to get shot. Because we should be past what our grandfathers did when they were protesting in the 60s, or sorry, our
Hmm.
dads in the 60s, or our great grandfathers were fighting the labor unions in the 10s and 20s. We don't want
Yeah,
the thing is when people say like, oh, well, why when the world's asking why aren't Americans standing up and doing something, it's like, no, I get it. Because we don't want to get hurt or die for
and
the
to be fair, they are. Many of us are. Many of us are standing up and doing something.
no, no,
Even
we're standing up, but I'm saying like the thing that
yeah.
when Europeans say like, hey, why aren't you, really standing up and going at it?
Hmm.
Because we should be past having to give up, not only give up our life, give up our soul for freedom. And if
Yeah.
and I get philosophically, if you have to earn freedom, peace, and prosperity by taking and giving up life,
Hmm.
is it actually good in the end? Because if so,
Yeah.
then our species is really disgusting. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Because here's the thing. I'm glad the protesters so far are keeping as calm as they can.
Yeah.
No ICE officers have been gotten hurt.
Yeah,
They're
this hasn't turned into like a George Floyd thing, and which I
even
imagine the reason why it's hasn't is because
I'll
there's no
say this
COVID.
though. No, but I'll say this though. Don't you remember during George Floyd that a lot of people were protecting cops who got stranded? Remember
Yeah.
that? So no, no,
Yes.
no, no. So no, we're not even at a George Floyd wasn't even horrible. Yeah, building. Oh, property damage. I give a fuck.
Oh no, a couple of storefronts had broken windows and they were set on fire. And
CNN,
oh
the
no, this
CNN
Target
building.
got looted. Oh no.
CNN building got burned down. Fuck off. You have enough money to rebuild. But really, we're more concerned about glass, steel, and concrete than life. You can
Yeah,
read. Remember, hey, perfect example. Remember in Lord of the Rings when Theoden's like this? Oh, we can rebuild crops and we can rebuild Helm's Deep, and Aragorn's like this. Who gives a fuck about that? We're talking about lives here, motherfucker.
hmm
That's the thing. That's
And
why.
George Floyd, I would say that this is so much worse than George Floyd because George Floyd was just like and it's bizarre that this happened like a block or two away from that incident
Oh,
too.
four
Like the fact
blocks.
it's the same
Four
fucking
blocks.
city.
Four
What is it
blocks.
about Minneapolis? But anyway, like that was a local police department thing. And the thing about like America, we decentralize our policing. It's based on like city and county or just municipality. And it's not something that the president can just snap his fingers and fix.
And no, and
This
regardless,
is the president can snap his fingers essentially and fix this. He just doesn't want to, and nobody around him wants to because not because they're negligent or they're like bleeding heart reformers like, oh, we can fix the system, and or what about the good guy? No, they are just straight up evil,
they just don't care. Yeah,
actually evil.
they don't care about you, the person. They don't care about. First of all, they don't even care about their own people because look how many of their people they've quote unquote excommunicated. No, I mean really, they don't even care
Yeah.
about themselves. It's you're useful till you're not situation.
hmm
So we're gonna see how this plays out because
Yeah.
a lot of things are gonna happen within the week, the week coming up when this episode gets released on this coming Tuesday. We're gonna see a lot happen because not only are we threatening the world with war and colonization and imperialism,
hmm
we're eating each other. We're like literally this country right now is one of those fighting fish, and you put a mirror in front of them. You've heard of those stories, by the way. Travis. Do you know what I'm saying when I about a fighting fish? You've heard about those fish, right? I don't know the exact name of this fish. I believe the fish is of Asian from the Asian countries. It's
hmm
called a fighting fish because
Yeah.
it is just that aggressive and territorial of a fish. Naturally, it is just that mean.
hmm
I don't know if you knew about this, but during, let's say, between 2005 and 2010, it was kind of this weird, not on the internet trend. If you owned a fighting fish and you put a mirror in front of it for it to see its own reflection, you know what it did?
It just hurt itself?
It
Like,
killed itself.
oh,
And you know how many,
wow.
here's the thing. A lot of people did that just to see what the fish would do. A lot of people purposely killed their own fish. This was a thing. I'm not
Uh,
joking with you. This was a fucking thing where it was basically aquarium cockfighting happening.
uh,
I'm not joking with you. It was, and if you went to a Petco or a PetSmart or any kind of pet shop that sold fish, you saw a lot of fighting fish in a plastic cup this big filled of water by itself. That's the fish was naturally that territorial.
uh,
And that's what America is right now. We're a fighting fish. We have a literal mirror in front of us. And it's not like, oh, are you just don't want to see what you look like. It's no, we see it and we are eating each other. We're killing ourselves. This
well,
isn't this isn't the snake eating a tail. We are literally a fighting fish with a
yeah.
reflection.
I mean, with that analogy, I mean, I would say it sounds more like, you know, the White House is the fighting fish, and we're like literally any other fish that you'd find at Petco. Like, where
Oh,
like we're not the fighting fish, but they're beating up on us. Like
I
they're
understand.
they're
And I understand what you're
they're
saying.
sticking the boot on our throats here.
I understand what you're saying there. I say we're the fighting fish because we are doing so much harm to ourselves. Because I still believe that a village raises and a village also abuses. And the point of humanity is to see us ourselves as one singular unit. So that's why I brought up the
Yeah.
fighting fish because we're killing ourselves because we literally
Yeah.
are. And the rest of the world is just, you know what?
They're
Whatever.
they're smart. They're terrified of
No,
us
they're
right
smart. They're
now.
terrified because one, I think FIFA is going to move the World Cup, and I think we're going to move the Olympics for the summertime. But what I'm saying is, the rest of the world is going to either turn their back on us or go like this. When can we move in?
Yeah. Well, if FIFA does move the World Cup out of the States, that might be like the most dignified thing FIFA's ever done.
Yeah, and I hope the World Cup. I hope the World Cup kicks us out of the Winter Olympics this February and moves the Summer Olympics and kicks us out. We need that. Sorry, we need that. To anyone who
Yeah.
is not American, and I hate that I have to say this, but anyone who is just not American and not living in here, stay out for a while. We have a lot of work to do. You don't need to be a part
Be
of it.
Yeah, be really careful. Yeah, a couple of times, and I should escalate this more. A couple of times I've this week, I have let's see, I left left some messages. Either I left a phone message to my city councilwoman asking like, hey, I basically asked her, can you like send the LVPD to arrest any ICE agents that operate just bar none,
Mhm.
like legislative stuff. And then I've left comments on some of my mayor's social
Good.
media, like, hey,
Everyone do
do
that.
that.
Everyone do that
I should
across the
probably
country.
escalate that to my state legislators, asking, hey, can you like put some legislation in for a vote saying like that the state of California will not recognize
ICE
ICE. Like,
and
can
Border
you do
Patrol
that?
and Border
Like,
Patrol. Remember, we are on the border. But it's fun.
sure. And
No, you know what, Travis? I,
mhm,
and I'm not trying to cut it, but I think that's a great way to end the episode. You want to do something? What you're saying is
yeah.
perfect. For anyone listening, listen to what anyone, sorry, tuning in, listen to what Travis is saying. It's time to start acting like a registered voter and really
Hmm.
call. You can find these numbers, by the way. They're on the fucking internet.
Oh
Call,
yeah, it's very
call
easy to
your,
find.
call your local, state, and federal leaders and realize and read a history book because realize all that great music from the 60s and 70s, they were all about like basically fuck fascism.
Hmm.
To
Yeah.
two songs to fully summarize what's happening abroad and within our borders. Clearance, clearance, clear water survival. I Fortunate Son.
CCR. There's
Survival,
no survival in that name.
isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Sorry,
I think it's Clarence Clearwater Revival, right?
revival. I don't know why I said survival, but revival. But I know that's on me. Sorry.
You know 70s music better than I do. Like,
I know the songs, not the bands. That's the problem. But remember, Fortunate Son. Fortunate Son.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know who will fight these wars that Trump is basically putting
Hmm.
his ass on the line for? It won't be
Yeah.
anyone who has a father who's a politician.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fortunate. Listen to Fortunate Son and listen to For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield.
And if you, yeah, so, yeah, no,
Something
like,
happening here. There's something really bad happening here. Marvin
mhm.
Gaye was literally trying to say what's going on.
Yeah.
John Lennon was trying to say give peace an actual chance, not this bullshit. I promise to give peace a chance during my presidential
Mhm.
election. No, like give it an actual chance. And something else, because you're talking about, hey, this is what we can do. So I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, remember what we've watched, read, and listened to growing up, and
Mhm.
parents grew up to. We were talking about this yesterday. It's fucking sad that right now on TikTok, a big trend is happening that I don't think people realize. That fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi monologue from Star Wars Rebels is literally circulating right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
Hey,
hate how timely Star Wars is.
yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. Star Wars, America's, the world's favorite piece of anti-fascist media. Star Wars.
George Lucas said it. When I wrote Star Wars, the Rebel Alliance was based off the Viet Cong.
Yep.
The Empire was based off America. People
Oh,
don't
he was
understand.
cooking.
Hey, remember when people said during the last two episodes of last two movies of Star Wars, episode 8 and 9, oh, it's gone so woke, it's gotten so liberal. It's like, dude, it's been like that since fucking 77 or 76. It's been like that since New Hope. The Rebel Alliance
Ah.
is not America. The Rebel Alliance was the Vietnamese people.
It's a shame that trilogy went to shit so quickly. Uh,
I'll say this: it's a shame that that franchise is so palpable right now. It's so timely.
yeah.
I hate
The,
it. I hate that it's this thing where it's like this, or better yet, someone said on on Instagram, you were reading Hunger Games and you sided with the Resistance. You
yeah.
watched Star Wars, you watched The Matrix, you read every single dystopian novel and watched every sci-fi uh, fantasy television movie show. And what did you do? You sided with the Resistance. So
Mhm.
why the fuck aren't you doing it right now in real life?
Well, I'd say so. I guess to summarize, I guess sort of like suggestions. What can you do? Because I didn't want to leave this off, doomery.
No,
Because believe me, when this was going down, it was not putting me in a really good mood. Um,
so
so like, I mean, first of all, definitely call your U.S. reps, like your senators and Congress people, uh, ask them to support. First of all, for those like say support a War Powers Resolution Act, so that the president can't just willy nilly attack countries, and also ask them to like support the total abolition of ICE, not the reformation of ICE, the abolition of ICE. If the primaries come up because it's 2026, the primaries come up and they're saying like and when asked, they're like, "Well, we can reform it. We can make it better." Like, don't give him your vote. Give it to the guy who says, "Get rid of this agency altogether. This agency is irredeemable, um, and it needs to be full-hearted replaced." Also, it's only been around since 2003. It's not like some sacrosanct pillar of our country. It's only been around as long as the Department of Homeland Security. Again,
who cares if it
also
won?
around since 2003, and a war on terror creation. So it's already very suspect by design.
You
So
mean like the
do,
Patriot Act?
yeah, exactly. It's all yeah, it's all connected. All that bullshit's connected. It all goes back to how we badly reacted to 9/11. It's all connected to that. So tell your reps that. Contact your state and local reps and ask them to support legislation or executive action or whatever that ICE has to be forcefully kicked out and removed from your streets if present. Like it not just we won't cooperate. Like no, arrest them outright that you need your cities get your try like, do what you can to like get your cities to be like get their police departments to just like rid us of that sickness entirely off the streets so that more people don't just get killed more we don't have more any more Renee Goods um and okay and then next up you have rights. We all have rights. Whether you're a citizen or not, if you're in this country, you have constitutional rights
You're a
and you
human.
should know them. Yeah. So, one of those rights, if someone knocks if a alleged officer of the law knocks on your door and is like, "Let us in." You don't have to let them in unless they have a judicial warrant. Not just a warrant, a judicial
Judicial.
yes. In that it is signed by a judge.
And ladies
And
and
if you
gentlemen,
yeah,
research your local judges. So
yes.
you know,
Yes, like maybe have your phone on hand ready to Google because like if you ask them if you want to see the warrant, if they say, "Oh, we have a warrant," and it's not signed by a judge and or they have your name and address wrong, don't let them in. Or rather, you have the right to not let them in, but really you shouldn't let them in. Um, if there are suspicious people that show up at your door one day
call the cops.
saying, yeah, exactly. Yeah, call the cops. Yeah, if they're like, "Hey, we're here to check the plumbing," and you weren't expecting a plumber to come over,
So
call the cops.
you know if someone's coming over to do repairs of any kind. Everyone knows a week in advance, a day in advance. No, no. You know
Yeah.
who's it's the equivalent of the phone call on our smartphones. You know who's calling you and you know who's not.
hmm Yeah.
You're
Or at the very least, if you're renting, call your landlord first. It's like, "Hey, did you send for this?"
yep.
But, bottom line, like tell, or at least like tell them to leave. Tell them like, "I'm sorry, I'm not
Tell
letting you
me.
in. I don't trust. I don't know who you are. I'm not expecting whatever." And if they don't leave, call the cops. And don't tell the cops you think they're ICE agents because technically you don't know that. Technically, you don't know that they're ICE agents because they haven't identified themselves and they won't identify themselves. They could just be like masked men trying to break into your house and steal your shit. So make that seem like what that is. That could be very well what's happening. Tell the cops that. Don't tell them you think ICE agents are here. Tell them there's people trying to break into my house. Um, yeah. So, yeah, they don't. If they don't have a warrant signed by a judge, you don't have to let them in. You don't have to
And
let them in. You don't have to like be in person with them. Keep them out of your property if you want. If you get arrested, you don't have to talk to them.
be
And,
smart,
well, yeah. In
stupid.
fact, you really shouldn't. Any defense attorney would tell you the smart thing is to keep your mouth shut. And you will tell them, and make sure you tell them, like, I do not talk to officers. Um, I'm not going to show you my identity documents. You have no right to, I don't show that information. You have no right to that information. I refuse to give you that. I refuse to give you anything and answer any of your questions. And if it's like, because I've heard situations like people are like accosted on the street by ICE agents and they ask them like about their documents. Where are you from? Where are you born? And what you really should do is say, I have the right to remain silent. Can I go now? Can I go now? Can I go now? Am I under arrest? Am I being detained? Can I leave now? And
That's
just make it
why.
clear you're not going to give them shit, and hopefully they'll get annoyed with you and let you go and leave you alone.
But don't be stupid. Cooler heads prevail at the same time. Bodies will not help the
Yeah,
situation. And I'm not saying bodies of like, oh, the innocent. No, if ICE bodies drop, that's not going to help anything either. No bodies on any kind of any side are going to help the situation. Cooler heads prevail. A lot of what Travis is saying, this information is being spammed right now across the internet of how to
yeah,
handle dealing with not just ICE but Border Patrol. It's
yeah.
actually
And
all
by the
that.
way, that's another reason why we need the police to step in and like stop ICE operations altogether. That's why we need local governments to say like we will not allow this at all.
Because you know
We need to
why?
like really because otherwise, if you let otherwise if they don't do that, if they just kind of like, oh no, what can we do? We're subservient to the federal government in the end. Then it's on the citizens. The only recourse is arm up. And I'm not suggesting you should do that,
Don't.
nor am I suggesting you should get into any violent altercations. We are not doing that. But that's why we need our systems, our local systems to counteract this so
You
that regular people don't take matters in their own hands because
do
it's
not
not going to
want.
be, yeah, it's not going to be
You
some right wing don't tread on me fantasy where we all rise up with our guns. No, it's just going to
don't
be
want that.
fucking chaos.
You do
Uh,
not want the neighborhood watch to get involved. You do not want citizens to say, "Oh, we're at the last resort." It's like the Patriot. We try every available option we have before we get to the shit show. We try
mhm,
again and again and again, everything to avoid a war, civil war, any kind of armed conflict with our own selves. Because the thing
mhm.
about ICE agents, yes, pieces of shit. They're still our fellow citizens. We have to do every possible, exhaust every single possible resources that we either know of or can think up of before we get to what you said, Travis, where it comes to
Yeah.
like, oh, so it's just on us. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever a country's population realizes that it's just on the citizens,
No, it's like that's like Wild West shit.
that's not
And
wild shit. It's what the Civil War was. It's sorry, it's what the Revolutionary War was.
sure.
Wild
Yeah,
West.
that's what a lot of revolutions are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, I'm speaking of just specifically ours. All that
Hmm.
men they were just regular people.
Hmm.
It was just regular people going. The Continental Army was just called that. It was just regular people going up against the Redcoats.
Yeah.
The thing is, we need law enforcement to get involved and to step up. We need the systems that have been put in place since the beginning of this country's existence to step up, like you're saying, Travis.
Hmm.
Excuse me. Because once the people fully 100% feel like, oh shit, it's on our own, it's up to us,
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, yeah, like pull up, yeah,
it gets ugly. Ones like
It
that.
gets bad.
Guess what?
That's why I don't want. That's why I'm doing that. That's why we're doing this because we don't. Because, when it gets to that point, it's
Oh,
when people feel the doomer pill. Like we don't want to. Oh,
boom. We're
nothing
not
good can happen. No, nothing we can do will help us.
have
That's not
time.
true.
We still have time. This
Hmm.
what is happening is scary,
Hmm.
but we are still not close to the doom pill yet. We really
Yeah.
are. There's still time. We can still do this. Let us all make sure that Renee Good is the only and the last body to fall. And
Yeah.
that's how we win. How
Hmm.
we win is she is the only one. She was the last. Well, sorry.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
last year there's about 25 people who died
There's
in
a
the
little more than that, but yeah.
but I'm saying
Yeah.
right now, make her the last one.
Yeah.
But
Um.
peacefully, peacefully with all your fucking might, protest. Peacefully, with
Hmm.
all your might, call your local representatives and federal. Peacefully, with every living being in your, every fiber of your being in your soul, peacefully do everything else besides violence. Don't.
Yeah.
We're not advocating for it. We are saying don't doing it. We're actually just saying we are. Well, what's the term? We're basically saying don't, we're basically condemning violence right now. We're condemning it.
Yeah.
Use your words, use your head, organize, be smart. If you go and protest and shit gets crazy, leave. Don't fight back. Leave.
Yeah.
Leave. Regroup
Actually, if you
tomorrow.
go to a protest and you see people like open carrying,
Get out of
like
there.
even if they're on their side, don't participate because if things go bad, you don't want to be involved in that.
Get out of there. Get out of there.
That's just like another Kyle Rittenhouse situation waiting to happen.
By the way, people, the whole bullshit of like, oh, paid agitators. Well, guess what? There was caught on camera in Minneapolis a dude putting a flag on fire and then bolting. The guy stepped up in front of the crowd, set a flag on fire to get everyone rallied up and like, yeah, fuck this shit, yeah. He
Yeah.
left, and
Yeah,
he was
that'll
followed.
happen.
And
Yeah.
he was followed. People were like, "What the fuck's your problem, dude? Why are you making it worse? Who are you? Where are you? Who the fuck are
Yeah.
you?
They
What's going on?
exist.
You're paid,
Yeah,
aren't
there's going to be like infiltrators that'll come in and like come in for because
you?"
people be filming you. Oh,
This,
look
this
how horrible the protesters are, and it's like some bad actor that
This
just walked in.
administration wants us to fuck up.
Yeah.
This administration wants us to give them excuse to say one simple command. The use
Hmm.
of live rounds has been authorized.
Yeah.
That is what this administration wants to
Yeah,
happen.
they want that Insurrection Act. They want to send the National Guard
No,
troops.
they actually want the protesters to kill ICE agents
Yes,
so that then they can roll up.
yeah,
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think
hmm
the best way to end this episode, which is very serious,
hmm
cooler heads prevail. Listen to what Travis said. Research who your local
Oh,
judges are.
yeah.
Signatures can
Uh,
be forged. Call the cops. Rely on the cops.
I
Be
wasn't done with the I wasn't done with the rights, by the way, because like let's get all that out there. So yeah, you don't have to let them in if they don't have a warrant.
smart.
You don't have you can the right to remain silent. You have the right to talk to a lawyer, to have a lawyer. And if you're like I'm looking at like an information sheet here. It's like if you don't have a lawyer, tell them you want to speak to one. Ask for a list of pro bono attorneys. Uh, and yeah, yeah, and don't sign any paperwork without one. Uh,
This is like
um,
the research everything, folks. Use
and
this.
and the
Use
First
this.
Amendment, yes, yes, and the First Amendment is on your side when it comes to filming. You do have the right to record public officials, which includes immigration officers, technically, for now.
Everyone. You have the right.
Yeah,
Any public official. Yeah.
as long as you're on a public place or in your own property. Uh, if you're recording a police action or an ICE action or whatever, you can record from a same distance. Um, you can record without their permission. You don't need their permission to do that. Um, don't physically interfere. Uh, and make sure your phone is secure. Like once you record a video, back up that video, and then or send it to like somebody that you can trust. If someone tells you to stop recording, you can just say calmly, "I have the right to record." Don't tell them to fuck off or anything like that. Just say, "I
Don't.
have the right to do this." Um, and if they say delete that video, You don't have to do it. They can't make you delete the video. Um,
Be smart
and
about it.
yeah, so that's like the rights. In terms of getting through this, I would say, um, you know, make sure you find moments of joy in your life. I'm wearing this right. For those of you not watching the YouTube version, I am wearing LA Rams Super Bowl 56 championship hat because just hours ago my Rams won their wild card round. They beat the Carolina Panthers in a nail biter of a game, which put me in a which if they lost, I don't know if I'd be. I feel like I would be in a lot worse mood doing this. But they
30, 34-31. I saw the score.
Oh, it was like a down to the wire type game too. That should not have been that close, but ooh. So find things that bring you moments of joy, not
And
as a distraction, but as a balance of, don't cut yourself off from the world, but don't let the worst of the world, not even just the world, the worst parts of the world, find some joy. Even if it's on the here's some joyful news. California is like drought free for the first time in 25 years. That was like a news report I
5
saw.
days ago. Holy shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Travis is right.
it's great.
It's not about, oh, the world should be joyful. You kind of need to make your own joy.
Hmm.
Go out and make your own joy. Um, I saw this one Instagram thing because I run the social media and now I'm actually like really getting involved before I ever have been. I've been such a troglodyte in my life.
I know.
Um, People have been saying, hey, you got a bottle of expensive scotch? Break it open. You have an extra $50? Go take yourself out to dinner. Hey, you've been wanting to buy this one movie on Blu-ray or 4K? Just do it. Just don't wait
Hmm.
until the end to do something fun and exciting or like, well, oh, I do it on my Fridays to go out. Do it during the work week. Go do
Yeah,
something daily. What I find joy in, just my boys. That's my joy.
yeah,
I've made it so simple. This polo you see I'm wearing, my wife got that.
yeah,
My wife got that for me.
yeah,
It's a fucking 7.99 polo. $7.99. What? This is my joy. My seeing my boys be literal goobers. That's
yeah.
my joy. Don't expect joy. Go make it.
Yes.
That's what Travis is saying, and that's what you should go make your own joy. And at the same time, no matter how crazy this gets, because this is not over yet.
Nope.
This is what will keep not just you, but the entire country safe and alive.
Yeah.
And smart.
Also, if you find yourself doing the TikTok or Instagram or whatever scroll, um, once you get past the third video, stop. Once you get to the third video that you swipe up on, stop. You don't want to be stuck doing that for 15 minutes. Apparently that might actually like cause cognitive decline. Stop. Do something else.
Breathe.
Funny thing I did at work this week? In my free time, I got on my work computer and I typed out on a Word document like a manual for myself on like how to do my job because it just because it's like I wanted to reinforce like what I know
No.
and kind of like create sort of standards for myself on how to do my job well, and that ate up so much of my time. Like that or let me rephrase that made the day go by real quickly, and I felt satisfied doing that. I cranked out like 12 pages on the Word document, and that felt good to me.
There you go.
And that
You
was much better than just looking at my tiny phone screen.
That is perfect.
All right.
Is that our episode, my friend?
I think that's our episode. We're back. We're happy to be back. You should subscribe to our Patreon because we got another episode on that you can only listen to on Patreon, but you have to be a member.
Oh,
You have
oh.
to pay for our In-N-Out burgers, please. Yeah, we recorded an episode last year. We couldn't figure out where to put it. And we're like, you know what? It's the video game episode. It's our little video game through the years episode. But and maybe we'll drop it on the main platform sometime later. But if you want to hear it now and you want to hear it first, subscribe to
Yeah.
our Patreon.
Subscribe.
Buy us an In-N-Out.
Subscribe to our Patreon. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and I'm gonna say it like you say it, Travis. Twitter.
Yes,
You know what
the
Twitter is?
platform formerly known as Twitter.
And subscribe to our YouTube so you can see our ugly faces instead of just hearing our silky smooth voices.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe
And
to
see
all.
Tater Tot every so often.
Subscribe to all three. Follow us on all four. Oh, sorry. Subscribe to all four. Follow us on all four. Get on Patreon. We are here. We're going to hit this hard because, as I told Travis, by the end of this year, we will be going for the podcast throne.
Yeah,
We're going for it.
it
And
would be remarkable. I mean, I keep my expectations more, more. I don't want to say mild, but like, more or even realistic. But it would be nice to take Candace Owens down, or Candace Owens to not be in the top 5 on
all of them.
Spotify
There's all of
anymore.
them. There's all of them. Hey, I'm going for Mr. Beast numbers too. I'm going for all of it.
Oh God.
I'm going for
Oh,
all of it. I'm going for all of it for us because I know we
well,
can. So, with your help, folks, you'll see Travis and I on the news. We love you all. Thank you for joining us every week. We are back. Like we said, the 2-week break is over. Our first season episode of season 2 has been out. It's about cartoon physics. Every episode, every Tuesday, we are here. Every Tuesday, we are here. We will not go anywhere. And we hope you keep enjoying what we're doing because this is we're basically using the power of friendship on this one to sound corny. Literally,
yeah.
we're friends of 15 years. This is the power.
That is the ultimate weapon that we have against the evil of the world is the power of friendship and community.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Go Rams!